So, Debbie, have you ever been on eBay?
Have I ever been on eBay? What kind of question is that? You're talking to a professional shopping woman. I love shopping. Yes, I've been on eBay.
You love shopping. Has there ever been anything that you've bid on that was super popular? And
Oh, you mean have I ever been in a bidding war?
yeah, bidding war.
Oh yeah, of course. I like to win those.
Oh, nice. Well, this is Debbie Wong and I'm Marla Wong, and we are
The Wong
Real Estate Group, and you are watching Real Times in Real Estate with us. And we're realtors here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So Debbie, today we're going to talk about bidding wars. How do we win them? How do we find ourselves in one? This is, of course, in regard to real estate with our buyers. How do we prepare our buyers for bidding wars?
Wow, what a great topic, Marla. And actually very timely because it seems like there isn't a lot of inventory. So, the really great properties people have to compete for, it seems. So, so how do you prepare for a bidding war? Wow. Well, the best way to get started is I think buyers need to get pre-approved for their loan. So if they're not paying cash, they got to get pre-approved for their loan. And it's really different from getting pre-qualified. Pre-qualified, you just call up a lender and say, hey, this is how much money I make and my credit score is pretty good. And I've been at my job for X number of time, that kind of thing. So that's just like a conversation versus getting pre-approved where the buyer has actually filled out a loan application, turned it into the loan agent. The loan agent then processes it, and they confirm the verification of their employment, and they confirm the deposits at the bank and all that wonderful stuff. And then they issue something called the pre-approval letter. So to me, that is the critical first step, because then the buyer can understand what is their purchase power. Like they say, knowledge is power, right? Well, understanding what your purchase power will really set the tone for not only where you should be searching for a property, because everything is price sensitive, but also set the tone for how much you can offer and how competitive can you be in the bidding process, if there is a bid, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pre-approval letter, that kind of gives you a guideline as to what you can afford. So should you be searching for properties at that point, or should you prepare for a bidding war? Or what should we, where should we be looking?
Well, I think you're asking a lot of really great questions. Okay, so
I'll take it.
Well, first and foremost, knowing what you can afford, like I was mentioning, is really crucial. And oftentimes, the loan agent will pre-approve you up to a maximum amount. So typically, people don't want to spend all the way up to their maximum because they sort of have a monthly payment in mind that they kind of want to stick to. And sometimes there's also payment shock, especially if you've been renting for a while, and then you've been able to save up a little money, or maybe your folks help you out and give you some money. But there's a difference between a mortgage payment and a rent payment, But with the interest rates being so historically low now, oftentimes they're almost similar, mortgage payments and rental payments, just depending on the area. But at any rate, so like I said, knowing what you can afford is really critical. And then knowing what you can get for what you can afford is where a really great agent can help you out. Because a lot of times, people shop online and they go, oh wow, this is really pretty, I really like it, or I have a dream of living in this area. But a really great agent that knows area values and knows market values can say, well, yes, this is wonderful. You'd like to live in Hillsborough, but at the price point that you're pre-approved for, we really need to have you stay in this other area first. So everything is really kind of price oriented. And I always like to talk with the buyers and see, what are they hoping for? What are their dreams? What do they aspire to? Of course, everybody aspires to a house, or oftentimes when people are just getting started, they have their parents that say, get a house. But I think knowing your price and knowing what you want sometimes doesn't always equal to what you can get. Or where you should start out at. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people say, I really want a house, but maybe their budget says they need to start with a condo first, or a townhouse first, and then maybe the house. But at any rate, so getting back to how to get prepared for bidding war is, of course, getting pre-approved is critical. Knowing what you can afford is very important. And then working with an agent that can help you understand, why did the seller pick that list price?
I do see that sometimes. Like, I'll see a house that looks great, but it's, like a few $100,000 below what the other houses are listed at, and it just, doesn't make sense. Or it might even be more sometimes.
It's like,
a couple $100,000 over, and it's like, well, how did they get that price? What are they thinking?
Well, that's where understanding, how to read the market and having a great agent that can do what's called a competitive market analysis for you is really helpful. Because then you can see, based on, let's say, 3 to 6 months in the past for a very similar property, what is the lowest selling price, what's the median price, and what was the highest price that has sold on average, and what's the average price per square foot, and try to take a look at the comparables, right? A house that looked similar to the one that you're trying to make an offer on sold for far less than maybe what this seller is asking, but that's because it needed a roof and it wasn't as remodeled as the one you're trying to make an offer on. And also understanding why the seller picked the list price will help you determine how is the bid going to go. So if the list price was set kind of lower than the median, then everybody knows they're going to have to add to be the highest bidder, right? So a really great agent can help you figure that out. Ultimately, though, it is the buyer's decision as to how much they want to offer, but a really great agent can help you figure out a strategy. So typically a strategy on, how much to go over, how to create the offer, what's the offer price going to be, and what types of terms and conditions are going to be in the offer. Meaning, are you going to have contingencies, like an inspection contingency, or how long of a close of escrow are you going to offer? Sometimes knowing information that you can glean from the listing agent is really important as well. Like if the listing agent says, well, the sellers are moving out of state and they're going to need a little extra time, to get out of the property after the close of escrow, or the sellers have already moved and they're motivated to get this thing closed as soon as possible. So then, that might be something that you can incorporate into your offer and the terms and conditions by making your offer be as attractive as possible by not just offering a very juicy price, but also offering terms and conditions that would actually work with the seller. So being prepared would actually help you be confident in making your offer.
Okay. Is there anything else that would help a buyer in today's market be prepared for a bidding war or a potential bidding war?
Well, I think on an earlier podcast, we talked about disclosures and how it's important to read them. I think that's also something that's really critical. It's understanding what it is you're purchasing can really help a buyer make the best offer possible. And the other thing that I would say is put your best foot forward. Oftentimes, you're not going to get a counteroffer, especially if the competition is really fierce for that particular property because it's in a really popular location. So oftentimes you don't get a chance for a counteroffer. So put your best foot forward. Make your offer as clean as you can. Sign all the disclosures if they were provided by the seller. provide your proof of funds, provide your pre-approval letter, have everything needed to make your offer package as complete as possible.
It sounds like that would also help you give you a leg up in a potential bidding war, just being prepared, knowing what you're buying, presenting everything correctly.
Absolutely. And again, in today's market where we don't have a lot of available inventory, like I was saying, often you just get that one chance. Sometimes buyers think, well, let me just make an offer and I can always get a counter offer, but sometimes you don't get that opportunity.
So that was our topic today, how to prepare for a bidding war. So if you'd like to see more videos like this or have any questions or want more information, please message us in the comment box below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get the latest episodes from Real Times in Real Estate with the Wong Real Estate Group. Thank you. Bye-bye.